Welcome, I'll be reacting to Black Sails, Season 2, Episode 4. This is not a market substitute. Please support the original on Starz. That's a lot of extra protein there. Just hit him off. Shake it off.
The Southwest Bastion is too weak to support any batteries at all.
Ooh.
I had no idea that Flint would be so fucking reckless as to threaten the fort itself.
He's angry because it was sudden, and from his perspective out of nowhere, also from the audience's perspective. But given time, Vane is good at coming up with plans, so I feel like he'll counterattack somehow. They are assuming he'll stay in the fort. He won't.
10 weeks before the batteries are restored. Twice that to resecure the interior. It is a risk, but a relatively short window in the grand scheme.
That's not short.
Short window that coincides with a British warship sitting at anchor 40 miles from here.
This is a terrible plan.
I have committed men and resources to aid you in retrieving the Urca gold. In exchange for which you've assured me of your assistance of expelling Captain Vane from that fort by any means necessary.
All right. That does make a little bit more sense. So Flint is desperate for another ship and more men. And that's why he's coming after Vane. It's too bad he couldn't just switch sides and form a partnership and say, hey, Vane, actually, this was all a horn of gold. Give me some of your men. Let's just bypass him. But the two of them just don't like each other, so I don't think that would work.
He said he wanted to see you right away.
Oh, she looks gorgeous. I mean, she always does, but particularly now.
It's all right. It has nothing to do with you and I.
I think it's the neckline. And the color. And her hairstyle. And the necklace. Don't go. Come back.
These past few months, I have come to trust you.
Uh-oh.
Very much. Which is why I feel I can ask for your help.
Scaring the shit out of everyone on the beach.
Flint's sailing a Spanish warship.
I think we should try and lure some of them inside.
I like the way she thinks. I smell mutiny with Vane's men.
Accuse me, challenge me, fight me, or shut the fuck up about it.
He might end up challenging you. I saw that look. Say what you will about Eleanor. She's got a lot of courage. She just came right out there to Flint, even after their argument. I have to admire that. Oh, they didn't even rig a bosun's chair for her. Interesting.
And you must ask yourselves who represents the greater threat to your interests. My men in this fort, or the madman on the water?
Disregard our partnership. Ignore the resources and influence and trust I have invested in you.
This is impersonal.
I mean, it's not, but it kind of is.
He'll never voluntarily leave if he thinks it will show weakness to do so. You want him out? Here's how you do it. You move this ship. You allow him to save face on this score. And then you and he and I sit down at a table and we sort it out.
And I am perfectly aware of the
I
danger
don't
that
think you are.
presents. But when it comes to Charles Vane, you and I simply do not see him in the
No,
same way.
we don't.
Because one way or another, he is leaving that fort. And right now, my way is the only way that I can be certain of that.
Eleanor is just stuck between two extremely stubborn men right now. I hope she comes up with a plan. At this point, I think I would go talk to Calico Jack and Max and be like, hey, do you have any ideas? Flint is always talking about, oh, we must protect the island and restore the island, and now he just wants to destroy their only means of defense. Eleanor called him out on that hypocrisy there, and he just brushed it off. I'm Team Vane right now.
It's the other one. He said no talking. How can you be sure?
Cut his head off.
Oh, great way to introduce yourself there.
You're asking if he loves me.
No.
He'll pay you what you ask.
Can you write?
She was at school, of course.
Sense a trap where my demands are unmet. I'll kill you and throw your body into the bay.
Incredible costuming here as well, because you can tell her gown was very fine at one point, and now it's just a tattered mess. Could they get some wagons and maybe move some of the guns down onto the beach and bring them to bear on the ship, maybe at night?
Can I assume when you say you'll go to the beach to make this appeal, you mean me? All right then.
Ah, Silver.
Prerequisite that we try and understand the thinking of the men who've already joined him.
Sorry, are you asking my opinion? Perhaps it's just them expressing their opinions about you.
So you think that they see me as the villain in this particular story? What do you think?
I think you're the villain.
You see me as the villain?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, Flint is starting to realize he is the villain. Oh, look at that.
That we don't hang the pirates. That we pardon them.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, what was that?
I want to pardon them.
I suggest you forget you ever thought of it.
Pulled a man out of the water, up by the North Point.
Billy.
The only one who can stop this is Flint. I'll just have to find someone to convince him.
If you believe anyone can make him see anything, you must not know him very well at all.
That is true.
I'm sorry. I can't help you. You weren't here the last time they came. 200 Spanish soldiers walked onto the beach. And all because there was no fort to protect the bay. He's the one in the most immediate danger, and you were doing
You who have enabled him, encouraged his violence. You ask if I care about him.
Eleanor has kind of been his partner this whole time.
Anne and I have been by each other's side since she was 13 years old. We have sailed together. We've killed together. We have shared things you couldn't begin to imagine.
You'd be amazed what can change in a week in my bed.
I understand.
Said in all likelihood a lot of those men would follow him wherever he went, on account of his skills.
You must seduce him. The look in your eyes when you finally breathe again that tells him you would do anything he asked in that moment. A story you've never told another soul. And that you cannot live without him.
I completely understand. Just so we're clear, I still fuck the shit out of him, yes?
Yes. Is there anything else you would like?
What was that?
Get Gates.
When he finds out what happened to Mr. Gates.
I'm asking you to do this for me. I'm asking you to watch my back on the other side of that door. Because I know as long as you are, there ain't shit she can do to get between us.
Yeah, you need to trust Anne on this. Is that a good we need a drink or a bad we need a drink?
He believes a number of his men would join him upon hearing this news. At least 28 men. Congratulations, Captain.
If it works.
What in the hell is it you think we're doing here?
This is your goddamn salon, Thomas, and
If
I
you
don't
do not
care to
forgive
be
men their sins, your father will not forgive your sins.
I don't want to hear it!
I find his intent to be good and true, and I find yours wanting, sir. I will be relaying my findings to Admiral Hennessy in short order.
Yeah, the father just kind of came in and insulted everyone.
After what happened between you and I wanted to believe that as vile as the act was, perhaps it was born of a misguided desire on your part to change your ways.
You came to her.
The governor in Carolina, it is Lord Peter Ashe, is it not?
I believe so, but...
Her name was Abigail Ashe.
Absolution.
They knew each other.
And now perhaps it is time to do that which we've only spoken about behind closed doors.
They're all going to disappear. They won't help. It was just entertaining talk to them.
How can I help?
1. All right.
I don't believe you've been properly introduced. Lieutenant McGraw.
This is Lord Ashe.
My good friend, Lord Peter Ashe.
Uh-huh. So Mrs. Barlow needs to get her out now.
I heard the news today. I thought it a sign. It was time to come and see you.
I came to help you get it.
I don't trust him. He has a secret agenda somewhere.
What would you do?
This is a good person to ask.
I fear that to take that fort will be to divide this island in the most dangerous way. Nassau has destroyed itself.
I agree.
I would teach myself to see Captain Vane as an unfortunate but unavoidable change in our landscape.
Please listen to him. You have to be humble.
What say you, Captain?
Fire.
Ah! Even though the plot didn't really move forward at all, I think that we got to see into the thought process of Vane and Flint and Eleanor and Mrs. Barlow in a really interesting way that will hopefully inform them later. Even though it looks like Flint made the wrong decision here, I think he also heard what Mr. Scott was saying. And maybe if he can put a little bit of show of force into this and then make peace, that will solve things. I don't know. I just feel like he and Vane need to work together instead of fighting each other. Because otherwise NASA is going to be ripped apart. Like Scott said, the English or the Spanish will arrive and find that their work has already been done for them. Also, I don't know what Eleanor's father has up his sleeve, but it can't be good. What I'm most excited about, though, is Miranda going to save Abigail, because I am sure that she's going to try. In fact, maybe they could make a compromise there, like you get to stay in the fort, but you give us Abigail. Something like that. Vane's men will be unhappy about losing that huge ransom, but then they get the fort back. That's a possible way out of this that I see. If she can get a message to Flint saying, hey, could we just ask for Abigail? I'm really interested to see as well where the Silver and Billy plot goes. That's going to just completely blow things up whenever he comes back aboard, and most likely split the crew again. Potentially, Jack and Anne have their own ship again. We'll see if that actually pans out or not. I don't like that they're starting to build up a little bit of a rivalry between Max and Jack. I feel like they work better together because every time they team up, the results are amazing. So I'm like, stop fighting. I feel like this episode was really meant to ramp up tension, and they did it effectively. I am so ready for whatever happens next.